Rugrats in Paris, the movie. Rugrats in Paris, the movie, is a 2000 animated comedy film based on the Nickelodeon animated television series Rugrats. This film marks the first appearance of Kimi Watanabe and her mother, Kira. The film also marks the only appearance of two legitimate human villains in the Rugrats franchise. Coco LaBouche, a cruel and tyrannical woman who dislikes children, including babies, and her accomplice, Jean-Claude. The events of the film take place before the 7th season of Rugrats. The film was released in the United States on November 17, 2000. The film received generally positive reviews from critics and grossed over $103 million worldwide against a production budget of $30 million. Plot: at the wedding reception of Lou Pickles and his new wife Lulu, a mother-child dance during the reception saddens Chucky Finster and his father Chaz, as Chucky's mother died of a terminal illness shortly after Chucky was born. Tommy Pickles' father, Stu, is summoned to Euro Reptarland, a Japanese amusement park in Paris, France, to fix a malfunctioning Reptar robot. Due to Stu being called in the early morning thanks to the time difference, he ultimately brings Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, Angelica, Dill, their dog Spike, and their parents to Paris to take a vacation at the park. Coco LaBouche, the greedy, cold-hearted, and child-hating head of Euro Reptarland, plans to succeed Mr. Yamaguchi as the president of the entire Reptar franchise and its parent company, Yamaguchi Industries, upon his retirement. However, Yamaguchi says that his successor has to love children to be able to do the job, so Coco lies to him by making him think that she is engaged to a man with a child. Upon the Rugrats' arrival at Euro Reptarland, Angelica overhears a conversation between Coco and Yamaguchi before being caught. To save herself, Angelica reveals that Chaz is looking for a second wife, prompting a delighted Coco to pounce on the idea. Coco strikes up a relationship with Chaz, but her attempts to bond with Chucky fail. The adults and babies meet Coco's overworked but kind-hearted assistant Kira Watanabe and her daughter Kimi, who hail from Japan but are now living in France. Kira reluctantly helps LaBouche to win Chaz's affections. Meanwhile, Spike gets lost in the streets of Paris and falls in love with a stray poodle named Fifi. Kira tells the babies the origins of Reptar, explaining he was a feared monster until a princess revealed his gentler side to make the frightened humans like him. Chucky decides the princess should be his new mother, and is aided by his friends to reach an animatronic replica of the princess in the park that they were unaware of, but they are stopped by Coco's ninja security guards. At the show's premiere, Angelica informs Coco of Chucky's wish, so Coco sneaks backstage and takes the spotlight as the princess, luring Chucky into her arms to make her seem wonderful with children. Chaz is ecstatic, deciding she would make an excellent mother, decides on the spot to marry her. On her wedding day, Coco and her accomplice Jean-Claude kidnapped the children, including Angelica, and trapped them in a warehouse. Upon witnessing this, Kira stands up to Coco and threatens to tell Chaz the truth, but Coco throws her out of the limo, leaving Kira to race to the wedding herself via bicycle. Chucky rallies the children to crash his father's wedding at Notre Dame de Paris, using the Reptar robot. They are chased by Jean-Claude, who pilots Reptar's nemesis known as the Robo-Snail robot. The chase culminates in a fight on a bridge, and Chucky knocks Robo-Snail into the Seine River. Chucky interrupts the wedding just in time, and Jean-Claude accidentally reveals Coco's kidnapping plot, prompting an angry Chaz to call off the wedding in disgust. Angelica also exposes Coco's plan to Yamaguchi, who angrily fires Coco in retaliation. Angelica rips Coco's wedding dress, and Coco disappears out of the church humiliated and defeated, while Spike chases Jean-Claude away. Kira arrives at the church and apologizes to Chaz for what Coco did to him and Chucky. Chaz and Kira eventually get married sometime later after returning to the United States, while Fifi is adopted by the Finster family. As the new family take their first dance together, they are interrupted when the whole dance floor erupts into an all-out food fight instigated by the babies as the film closes. Cast: Main: Christine Kavanagh as Chucky Finster, Michael Bell as Chaz Finster, E.G. Daly as Tommy Pickles, Cheryl Chase as Angelica Pickles, Kath Soucie as Phil, Lil, and Betty DeVille, Cree Summer as Susie Carmichael, Tara Strom as Dill Pickles, Dion Kwan as Kimi Watanabe, Julia Kato as Kira Watanabe. Supporting: Joe Alaskey as Grandpa Lou Pickles, Debbie Reynolds as Lulu Pickles, Michael Bell as Drew Pickles, Jack Riley as Stu Pickles, Melanie Shartoff as Dee Dee Pickles, Tress McNeil as Charlotte Pickles, Phil Proctor as Howard DeVille. Guest stars: Susan Sarandon as Coco LaBouche, John Lithgow as Jean-Claude, Mako as Mr. Yamaguchi, Marlene Mituko, Daryl Kunitomi, and Go Misawa as the villagers of the Princess Spectacular show, Tim Curry as a sumo singer, Billy West as a sumo singer, Kevin Michael Richardson as a sumo singer, Paul DeMeyer as the street cleaner and dog catcher, Philip Simon as the animatronic bus driver, Richard Michel as the French worker, Charlie Adler as the inspector, Philippe Benichou as the ninja, Dan Castellaneta as the priest, Lisa McLowry as the princess, Casey Kasem as the wedding DJ, Roger Rose as the Finster wedding DJ, Margaret Smith as the stewardess. Release: the film was released on November 17, 2000 by Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon Movies. Rugrats in Paris, the movie, was released in the United Kingdom on May 20, 2001 by Xylem. Home media: Paramount Home Entertainment released the film on VHS and DVD on March 27, 2001. In 2009, Paramount released the film via iTunes and the PlayStation Store. On August 29, 2017, Rugrats in Paris was re-released on DVD. Reception: critical reception. Rotten Tomatoes gives the film a 76% approval rating from critics based on 73 reviews. The critical consensus reads, "When the Rugrats go to Paris, the result is Nickelodeon-style fun." The plot is effectively character-driven and features catchy songs and great celebrity voice acting. Metacritic gives the film a 62 out of 100 score based on 25 reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. Roger Ebert gave the film a 3 out of 5 stars, stating, "The point is, adults can attend this movie with a fair degree of pleasure. That's not always the case with movies for kids, as no parent needs to be reminded. There may even be some moms who insist that the kids need to see this movie. You know who you are." Common Sense Media gave the film a 3 out of 5 stars, stating 80 minutes of visual surprises and clever comedy. Empire gave the film a 3 out of 5 stars, stating, "Just as good as the last outing, this is great kiddie fare with some filmic references for the adults." Plugged In wrote, "If parents are wanting more of what they see in the Rugrats TV show, plenty of potty humor, disrespectful language, and zero discipline, then this movie lives up to expectations. Never is a child scolded for making a mess or reprimanded for being rude. Of course, some of this is due to the fact that many of the characters aren't old enough to talk and only communicate with each other. The movie is cleverly written. It actually has the ability to hold adults' attention for longer than 3 minutes. But it's not funny that chaos is the norm and children get to do whatever they want whenever they want. Neither is it appropriate for a children's film to tip its hat to such R-rated flicks as The Godfather and A Few Good Men." Box office. The film grossed $76.5 million in North America and $26.8 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $103.3 million against a $30 million budget. In the United States, it opened at number 2, grossing $22,718,184 in its opening weekend for an average of $7,743 from 2,934 venues. In the United Kingdom, it opened at number 3, behind Bridget Jones's Diary and Spy Kids. Sequel. A third and last installment, entitled Rugrats Go Wild, was released on June 13, 2003, featuring the characters from The Wild Thornberrys.